development and the origin of the first civilizations. The origin and development of the first civilizations. Now see, the word civilization is a cultural and a development-based concept. When do we say that a region has a civilization? Like it's an advanced level ho gaya. It's not people, anybody living. It's an advanced level of culture, an advanced society. So iske 4-5 attributes hain. In civilizations, generally, not always, but generally, they are settled. Ek jagah rehte hain. They are settled. Civilizations mein very important is that there is agriculture and there is a trade surplus. Trade surplus hota hai tab when you are consuming less than you are producing. Otherwise, it is subsistence. Okay. With trade. When do you trade? When I eat 10 units of rice, I produce 20. So extra 10 I will go and sell and buy. So trade is a very important element of a civilization. Agar trade hai, you need to know numbers. Okay. You need to keep records. Isme kya hai? Scripts develop. Writing shuru ho jata hai. A civilization mein, okay, you will have some kind of political and social hierarchy aa jayega. There are traders, there are workers, there are farmers, there is a ruler, there is a king. Ye jo segregation hai, these segregations are elements of a civilization. When do I say a particular society is a civilized society, and not a pejorative and subjective concept of racism? Okay, that's why do we say that Indus Valley is among the early civilizations? Log to reh rahe hain probably from 10,000 years. Why do I say the earliest ones of civilizations were 4, 5, 6,000 years ago? Why? Ye kuch elements hain that they must be settled. They must have had agriculture. Agriculture agar hai, they are bound to have something around irrigation. Okay, either, and I'm not saying the modern ones that we know, even rainfall based mein, some way they are channeling the waters. The irrigation hoga, trade surplus ban jayega, you're producing more than that you need. Because of this, you will have some profits, economy ho raha hai. Okay, people are moving, transaction, the scripts will develop. Records rahega, to scripts, language ho jayega. The slow gradual emergence of a written language. Written language, and slowly gradually the written language also gets sophisticated. So isme grammar aa jayega. Okay, there are punctuation rules and regulations. So when, and plus I said some kind of a political and social hierarchy also develops. These are the features or the elements of a civilization. Find all of you here? Acha. And two things here. One is ki when did we have the earliest civilizations? When did we have the earliest civilizations? Approximately around, I mean, debate hai, but 5,000 to 6,000 years ago. Okay, we had our first civilizations. So we have gone beyond the Neolithic agriculture. Far more developed hai. Agriculture hai, surplus hai, irrigation hai. This is the beginnings. Or beginnings mein, the first one, it's considered to be a one called as Ur civilization. Ur was part of the lower Sumeria. Part of lower Sumeria. This is somewhere in the lower courses of Euphrates and Tigris. In the lower course of a river Euphrates and lower Tigris. Do you know which country has these rivers? Iraq. Iran, Iraq. If you have heard about a place called as Basra, okay, Basra ke aspas or north mein, okay, there was a area called as Ur region. Ur mein, we say we had the first civilizations. Wahan shuru hui thi. Okay, and this is the lower Sumeria. Sumeria is also a civilization. Isme, see, when we say, for example, we say ancient India, it's not only one time, no? It's not one place. It's a large area and different kingdoms are there. Yes, this is the earliest Mesopotamian civilization. The earliest Mesopotamian civilization. So this is one version. Another version says that maybe the earliest one, the earliest ones were also maybe the Egyptian Nile Valley. Because ये fact hai that agriculture developed and scaled up first in the Nile Valley. We have evidence of that. Nile Valley is Africa. It is Egypt. So both the versions jaan lijiye. I said nobody can ask you multiple choice question here. Just know that this area had the first civilizations. Okay. The most accepted is Urmetha, which is lower Sumeria. But some people say Egypt, Nile Valley also probably had one of the earliest civilizations. Now, linked to this, a very important question is, where do you think agriculture is more favorable? Fertile soil, infertile soil? Fertile soil. Good rainfall or dry conditions? Good rainfall. Whether those areas are warm or are they cold areas? Warm areas. Long growing season or short growing season? Long growing season. So agriculture cha develop karta hai. Kahan develop karta hai? Areas which have good soil, good rainfall, warm conditions, not hot conditions. Warm conditions and a good length of growing season. So tropical areas mein civilizations pehle aayi, isme nothing surprised about. The temperate regions took their time. They were still developing. They were not as established. Take understandable. Now, in that logic, agar aap dekhoge, you talk about the earliest civilizations. We talk about the earliest civilizations. I'm giving you a list here. We have Nile Valley. We have Mesopotamia. Okay. We have the Mexican civilization. This also goes back to more than 3,000 years. The Mexican civilization. India mein, the Indus Valley civilizations. In China, if you know, there is this Wanghe region. Wanghe region, Yellow River. Okay. This region here. Okay. And ye bahut important area hai. Mesopotamia is a large area. If you look at Arabia, let me draw this diagram here. This is Africa like this. This is Arabia here. And this is India here. This is the Mediterranean. And so ye jo area hai, this area like an arc, aise. This is a very important area for early civilizations. It includes parts of Iraq, parts of Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, Israel. Okay, ye ek arc hai. This arc is also referred to as the Fertile Crescent. और इसी के extensions हैं the Nile region also. Okay, this is a very important area where civilizations developed, a very important area where the first urban populations have come up. Okay, this is Saudi Arabia. Okay, this is the Persian Gulf. Okay, it's like an arc here. I'll show that to you in your map also. It's like an arc here. Ye Iraq. Okay, yahin par you have the rivers, the river Euphrates and river Tigris, Euphrates, like this. Yehi arc hai ye wala. ठीक है, यहाँ पर you have this river called as the Jordan River here, parts of Israel. This arc is a very important arc called as the Fertile Crescent, and some also call this as the Green Crescent. The Green Crescent. I repeat, it includes what area? It includes Iraq. It includes parts of Syria, Jordan, Lebanon, Israel. Lebanon, Israel. It's called as the Fertile Crescent. In your human geography textbook of Majid Hussain, अगर आप पेज नंबर 93 देखें, so this is an arc here. You can see Babylon, Sumeria, Mesopotamia, Assyrian civilization, the fertile Syria, Palestine. इस arc का part है. ये जो arc है, this is called as a fertile crescent. You see, this includes part Hittites were a civilization, Uruk a civilization, Mesopotamia, and this ultimately this is your Nile civilization, Nile Valley here. Now my question to you is, ये सारे areas today कैसे areas हैं? Are they really warm and wet and great? Deserts हैं. Nile region, Egypt, deserts है. Mesopotamia, Iraq, Israel, ये सब deserts हैं. Jordan desert है. Mexico is a desert. Indus Valley, Rajasthan, parts of Sindh, dry regions हैं. And Hwanghae is also a desert. The question is, now this doesn't make sense to us. कि deserts में, why did we have the first civilizations? Why did we have the first people? Organized living, why deserts में हुआ है? Yes? पहले desert नहीं था. पहले मतलब कितना पहले की बात हो रही है? You are right. सहारा पहले नहीं था. वो पहले नहीं था मतलब couple of million years. ठीक है? हम उसकी बात ही नहीं कर, हम तो बात कर रहे हैं 4000 साल. In the history of Earth civilization, ऐसा थोड़ी है कि इंडस रीजन में खूब बारिश था और watery water, ऐसा नहीं था. It was dry, maybe a bit less dry, but it was dry. And Arabia was always a desert. ये fact. And Hwanghae was always a desert. Maybe the aridity could be different, a bit less or more. But don't say it was like your West Bengal plain with a big river flowing and a lot of heavy rainfall. No, as itna bhi pani nahi tha. See, in civilization, a very important aspect is what we call as organized living, where there are roles set, where there is trade, where there is surplus production, where there's a ruler. Organized living kahan par hoga possible? When you are having abundance of everything or when there are constraints, kahan hoga? When will you have organized living? Budgeting कर रहे हैं, क्या खर्च है, क्या खर्च नहीं है, कौन खर्च कहां होगा? जहां पर constraints होगा. अगर everybody has everything, फिर तो क्या ही कोई इशू नहीं है ना. जहां से खाना है खा लो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. Everybody has everything. Your management comes into play when there are resource constraints. Your management comes to play when there is less water. Civilizations में technology चाहिए ना. You need brains there to work. When everybody has everything, you don't need the brains. बाहर जाओ, तोड़ लिया, फल खा लिया. यहीं लटक रहा है, चॉकलेट भी लटक रहा है, वो भी खा लिया आपने. सोने का मन क्या, सो गए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, no constraints. Organization comes in when you have to plan, and planning comes in when there are constraints. So irrigation is a very important element of civilization, right? Where do you think we need irrigation? Dry or wet conditions? Dry conditions. So a theory hai, it's called as the hydraulic theory. Hydraulic theory says that wherever we have constraints of water, but of course you need fertile soil. Fertile soil आप manage नहीं कर सकते. तो rivers हैं, good floodplains and fertile conditions, but बारिश नहीं हो रही है. Let's now organize. Let us budget water. Somebody must take care कि पानी ज़्यादा खर्च नहीं हो. Let us now organize farming process. So when you organize things, you ultimately end up growing more. India में compare Punjab and Bihar. कहाँ पर agriculture more planned है? Punjab. And Punjab is not wet. पंजाब में irrigation systems हैं. बिहार का यही problem है कि there is no planning historical in terms of irrigation systems. So conditions तो अच्छे हैं, पानी भी है, enough of rainfall and soil, but lack of that type of agriculture, commercial based planning and growing. Punjab ne kar liya pehle. So it is this condition. So geographically speaking, civilizations ke development in areas of constraints hote hain. That's why it's called as the hydraulic theory of civilizations development. That's why all these areas are essentially dry areas. Iske baad, you can always spread and develop into more areas which are relatively better off in terms of their environmental conditions.